This is Becky Schultz with Equipment Today and ForConstructionPros.com reporting to you from my remote office. If you're like me, you are tired of hearing nothing but negative news. That's why I'm here to share some good news about what's happening in the construction industry. One thing we've always liked to do is give a shout out to #ConstructionHeroes. These are companies or individuals who go above and beyond to help those in need within their communities. We come across examples of this throughout the year, but there's been an abundance during the COVID-19 crisis. We'd like to share just a few examples of those that we've found. The Swinerton Foundation, the charitable arm of Swinerton Company, announced it's donating $170,000 to local food banks to aid those who rely on food assistance during the COVID crisis. The foundation planned to donate $10,000 to a local food bank at each of the 17 office locations across the country, plus match employee donations through the Swinerton Cares program. The foundation also announced it's partnering with the American Red Cross to donate $63,000 for the nonprofit's efforts, with $50,000 going toward disaster relief and $13,000 for blood services. Bechtel Corporation has donated a whopping 16,595 masks to hospitals and first responders in the various communities in which it works. To date, donations have been made in New York, Ohio, Maryland, Washington, California, Kentucky, Georgia, Pennsylvania, Texas, Louisiana, and even the country of Chile. Kiewit Corporation and its subsidiaries have donated personal protective equipment such as masks to healthcare facilities throughout the communities where it operates. This includes a donation by Kiewit Offshore Services of 2,500 Tyvek suits and 500 masks to Driscoll Children's Hospital in Corpus Christi, Texas. In Minnesota, Grazzini Brothers and Company donated every piece of PPE in its inventory to help medical professionals. Employees at Banco came together to donate N95 masks to a local hospital birth center. Rice Lake Construction Group donated 500 masks to a local hospital. Park Construction Company donated 200 N95 face masks to Woodwinds Hospital in Woodbury, Minnesota. And Duan Inc. donated more than 80 respirators to a local nonprofit senior care center and the County Relief Agency. And because you cannot forget the kids in all this, C.D. Smith launched the 2020 Kids at Home Construction Contest to encourage fun and creativity for children faced with school closures. We invited Mercedes Tucker from C.D. Smith to tell us more about it. So, to start off with, Mercedes, can you tell me a little about who C.D. Smith is as a company, what types of construction operations it's involved in?
Yeah, definitely. So C.D. Smith, we're one of the largest Midwest commercial construction firms. We build projects of all sizes across the nation, but primarily we focus, a lot of our jobs are in southeastern Wisconsin. And in Wisconsin, we have about 600 employees. Kind of to give you an idea of some of the different projects that we've worked on, if you're looking at the Milwaukee skyline, the Northwestern Mutual 34-story housing tower, the 777 building, that's a project that we completed. Or if you're watching like a Wisconsin Badgers football game, we built the Camp Randall Stadium. So those are some cool projects. But C.D. Smith, we really stand behind our people, our work, and the people we work with. So it's a really great company to be a part of, and I've really enjoyed it.
Now, you've developed a pretty special kind of program for the kids during this whole crazy pandemic crisis. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah. So we started kind of a little bit of a background on it. We have our COVID response team, and then we also have our internal communications team, our leadership team, and we had a lot of different groups getting together and kind of talking through everything that's going on. And as we kind of were going through this process, we wanted to find a way to kind of find some positivity and look for something that we could do in kind of this unique time, I guess you could say. So as we were brainstorming and people were collaborating and coming up with different ideas, We all thought there's a lot of kids home from school, and we thought it'd be kind of fun to offer them a creative activity. So we came up with the Kids at Home construction contest, and that construction contest asked students under the age of 18 to come up with and design a construction project. And really kind of the thought was like finding the architects and builders of tomorrow and just giving them a unique way to be exposed to construction. And then also an outlet to expose those students of kind of that concept. If they can dream it, they can build it. And it's really neat too to see that this contest, it's continuing to kind of grow and expand and gain traction. So it's really fun to see it grow and the positive things that are coming out of it as well.
So can you tell me a little about the process? How does somebody go about entering? What types of things are you looking for? Tell me a little bit more about how you participate in this from a youth standpoint.
Yep. So the contest, we broke it into 5 age groups. We have preschoolers, so ages 3 to 5, middle childhood 6 to 8, middle childhood 9 to 11, young teens 12 to 14, and then teenagers 15 to 17. And that just helps kind of get each age group with contestants of the same age. And then really from there, if the student is 9 and younger, their parents would submit a photo or video of them and their project, and then send in a signed parent consent form. And then students over 9, same thing, they would submit a photo or video of their project. And then in addition to that, they would also just do a short essay, kind of talking about what their idea is about or why it's unique, talk about some of the unique features of it. So we ask a little bit more for some of the older students. And then from there, we also have, we've had a lot of questions about kind of like acceptable building formats. So we didn't want to limit any of the students and their creativity. So they could either build a physical model, and that model could be something with like Legos or building blocks or strings or pipe cleaners or whatever they could find in their own house and craft something. But certainly if they didn't have craft in their own house, they could also do a blueprint or a drawing, kind of going back to that architect and design type mentality. And then I think this is kind of interesting too. We've had some students ask if they can use 3D computer aided designs. So as we advance more into the technology side of things, it's neat to see students engaging from that. So there's a lot of different outlets that students can participate in with different formats as well.
That's really great. I mean, you're allowing for a lot of flexibility in terms of what types of tools that the students can use. And I love that you're allowing for that advances in technology, letting kids really explore that new types of technology that they might be able to use down the road somewhere.
Yeah, definitely.
So what about the benefits that they can gain from this? And I understand there are prizes available.
Yep. So
but there's more to it.
Yes, definitely. So like you said, there's the prize side of it. So we have $250 in prizes, which is split by the different age groups. The older age groups get a little bit more. And it's really just an Amazon gift card. But kind of the exciting thing is being exposed to the construction industry. And we've actually had a number of teachers reach out to us as well. And they're asking about using this in their schools and an opportunity for the students to get involved. So the teachers, it gives them a way to talk about construction, talk about architecture, design and building. And so there's an outlet for the teachers, but to just, again, kind of getting involved, there's really, as we talk about the builders and the architects of tomorrow, this could be the opportunity that a student who may have never considered construction a potential career path because they find it really fun designing things. And as they learn about construction, that they can eventually create a long-term career path would be our hope.
I think that's a great opportunity and a great objective that you have going forward with this. So when will the winners of the contest be announced?
So there's actually a voting phase that will take place after this. So between Monday, April 20th through Tuesday, April 28th, we'll be doing voting. And that gives the opportunity to really kind of build the community online and get participation. And anyone can vote. The voting process, so we'll have a web page that's dedicated to all the submission entries. And then you can vote once per day, per person, per category. And so then as people go into it, they'll be able to vote on who they feel is emulates the best design or might have a good essay behind it. Really, it's the opportunity to build that online community. That's why we went with the voting format. And then from there, once the voting closes on the 28th, then on May 1st, we'll make the announcement of who the final winner was. And we'll be updating numbers regularly too, so people can see kind of where they're at in the standings.
So in other words, vote often.
Yes. Yep. Vote once a day.
There you go. There you go. So I am sure you have come across some really unique and innovative ideas. The creativity of the young people out there it always astounds me. So I envy you because I'm sure it's a lot of fun going through all of these.
It's really fun. And even we have 4-year-olds and 5-year-olds who are putting really thoughtful designs into their Lego projects or different things. But then we also have young teens and young adults who are getting creative too. So it's neat to see how people have kind of inspired from this. And I guess they have a little bit more time at home, so they get to get a little more creative, which is fun to see what they're coming up with too.
That's awesome. So I look forward to seeing these projects. I'm going to jump online soon to start checking them out. How can others do that?
Yeah, definitely. So they would just go to our website, cdsmith.com/construction contest. And then we also have a blog. So if they can't find it right there, if you click the blog, there's information on our blog too, but it's cdsmith.com/construction contest.
Well, that's great. I really appreciate you sharing some information about this program. I think it's an awesome opportunity for kids to not only find a way to do something other than maybe spending their time in front of video games, but also to just learn more about an industry that offers a tremendous amount of opportunity.
Most definitely, yes.
Well, thank you so much, Mercedes. I really appreciate you joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having us. We really appreciate you connecting with us.
Now we'd like to recognize a few manufacturer heroes. These companies have taken steps above and beyond to help address the global health crisis. Automotive manufacturers were some of the first to step in with assistance, with Ford Motor Company, General Motors, and Fiat Chrysler Automobiles, parent company of Ram Trucks, offering manufacturing and logistics support for medical supplies. The companies transitioned their facilities to produce items such as face shields for medical workers and respirators to treat critically ill patients. The Caterpillar Foundation, the philanthropic arm of Caterpillar Inc., announced it's committing $8.5 million to support global communities affected by the virus. The funds will support nonprofit organizations working to help prevent, detect, and respond to the pandemic, providing resources to hospitals, medical staff, and patients, addressing food insecurity, and enabling online STEM and coding education for youth impacted by school closures. At the end of March, UK-based JCB announced it was preparing to restart production at a closed facility in Uttoxeter, Staffordshire, to join the global effort to manufacture ventilators. After a 2-week closure due to the coronavirus crisis, the company is restarting the factory to produce special steel housings for a new ventilator designed by Dyson, subject to regulatory approval. And in addition to donations of personal protective equipment, John Deere, in collaboration with the UAW, Iowa Department of Homeland Security, and Illinois Manufacturers Association, announced it was shifting production at John Deere Seating Group in Moline, Illinois, to produce face shields for the healthcare sector. Dear employees will initially produce 25,000 face shields to meet the immediate needs of healthcare workers in several of its U.S. manufacturing communities. Materials and supplies are on order to produce 200,000 more. That's it for this edition of Construction Good News, but we know there's a lot more good news stories out there. We invite you to send us your reports of good news in your community. You can do so by reaching me at bschultz@acbusinessmedia.com, or you can share them through Equipment Today's Facebook page. Thank you for joining us.